Hi, I'm Cheryl, and I'm with Palo Alto Networks, and I'm the Engagement Program Manager for LIVEcommunity. And I have a guest with me today. We have Otakar Klier. Hi, Otakar.
Hello. Thank you
Hello.
for having me.
Absolutely. So glad that you could join us today, although it's virtual. But that's the world we live in at the moment. So Otakar is a senior security engineer, and he's also a LIVEcommunity cyber elite. So again, we want to take this opportunity to Otakar and thank you for joining us to ask you a few questions and help our community get to know you a little bit better.
Sure thing.
Great. So with that being said, one of the things I wanted to first start asking you about is what was your first experience with Palo Alto Networks products?
So I left a company and joined a new company, and that's what they had. And I had other product, firewall, lots of experience with that. And so there's like, well, we need help with this. And so they had one on in a box, brand new, ready to go. So first thing I did is I cracked it open, booted it up, read through a little bit, and, looked at the interface. It looked really, slick. And I think that was like version 5. So even back then, the interface looked pretty decent. And then, from there, it was trial by fire, leaning on my SE, leaning on support, and the LIVEcommunity as well. Once I found out that there was a LIVEcommunity, I started asking questions.
Yeah.
And, at first I'm like, should I ask all these simple, basic questions? And the answer was yes. I wish I would have found them sooner, actually, the LIVEcommunity, that is, because a lot of smart people on there, and they're willing to help. And a lot of the questions I had were more about architecture and, in theory, more like, hey, how are you guys implementing this? Right, trying to get other ideas, because I didn't really have anybody that I've worked with that I could bounce the ideas off of. So it was great to interact with the LIVEcommunity members and ask, hey, what how do you guys implement, say, client VPN and or OSPF or one of the other fine features of the product?
Right.
It kind of leads to the best practices piece. So that's pretty much how I get started.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I have heard just that, and I really believe that no question is a dumb question, right? So you might think like it's too simplistic to ask this simple question, but that's how things get answered, and no question is too simple.
Yeah, I think Reaper back in the day had a post, and basically a response to a post that basically said something like, "We're all happy, jolly folks here. We're here to help. We're not here to put you down."
Right.
Right. Ask your question.
Right.
Don't be afraid. We're going to jump in. We're going to help you. And if we can, and if somebody can't, somebody else will. There's a lot of people out there that are really smart, that are really, not even on the cyber elite side, that are really great at answering those questions. So please ask your questions.
It's great. That's great input. Definitely. Great. So, well, can you tell me about a typical day at work for you? What are some of the daily routines that you might have?
Sure. So my day usually starts even before I leave my house, right? I wake up in the morning, I'm like, pretty much a zombie guy, but I pick up my phone and, I start flipping through my emails to see, okay, is there anything that I need to jump on right away? Right. So I'm looking through my phone saying, okay, all right, these things can wait, these things can wait, these things can wait, that type of thing. If there's something, I need to jump on, boom, laptop fires up and I'm on VPN, go from there. Otherwise, it's like, okay, it can wait. And, I just get ready, do my thing, get to the office. And, from there, it's, usually launch my, dashboard tools. We have a monitoring solution that we utilize for, up, down status, utilization for different components, etc. And so I launched that just to have it in the background. And then there's several tools that I manage outside of just the Palo Alto that we need to check on and make sure that A, they're running correctly, and B, see if there's any requests. handle any of those things. And in the meantime, just the normal, to any tickets that come in, any emails that come in, instant messages, you're just getting bombarded all day long.
Right.
So it's different from day to day, but my normal day is wake up and then go to bed. Everything else is, up for grabs.
Okay, well, talking about that, so what do you do? What do you like to do in your free time when you're not working?
So,
Yeah, don't be working. What's your free time look like?
So my downtime is so let me start off by saying that everything I do is like super high tech, right? I'm not only doing Palo Altos, I'm doing networking, I'm doing hypervisors, I'm doing SAN backends, I'm doing all the security stack for our entire company, right? So it's not just me and a firewall and that's it all day long. No, I'm handling literally dozens of different security tools all day long, making sure they're healthy, reading release notes, making sure they're updated, that type of thing. So in my downtime, it's all low tech. So either I'm outside, in the yard, working in the yard in the summertime when it needs to happen. And my real hobby is old cars. So right now I do have a 65 Mustang that I've been working on for the past 8 years, but it doesn't look like any work has been done. But it's definitely a fun project. I had the motor out a few times. And then most recently, my wife was gifted from her mother and stepfather a 1929 Model A, which was basically, fully restored, less than 10 years ago. And it just needs a little bit of maintenance here and there. But it's, I think somebody mentioned this or I read it somewhere where Henry Ford said it's just all nuts and bolts. And that's all it is. And that's what I love about it, because that's all it is, all nuts and bolts, no high tech, no, nothing, no computers. You have to understand the machine, right? And so that's what I really like, is trying to understand, okay, why is it, running this way or not running, and try to figure it out from there, because the Model A has, 0 computer chips in it.
That's great. Well, it's good to have those type of hobbies that you can kind of get away and recharge, right? And, from your day job, and have a great weekends and downtime. So I'm going to ask you one last question. And wanted to just see, what does it mean to you to be a Live Community Cyber Elite?
So, even before the Cyber Elite, there was the different badging and whatnot. But and when I was first asked, it was kind of like, wow, it was kind of like a shock to me, because it was not my intention or my goal to obtain a certain status, right? I went on the forums in the Live community basically to say, okay, hey, either I need help or I want to bounce some ideas off of some really smart folks out there.
Right.
And that's kind of how it started. And then what I realized is that I really enjoy, taking time out of my day and going on there occasionally and helping others. Right. And so when I can help somebody or steer them in the right direction and they come back with a thanks, that's perfect. Right. That's my goal. And that's good enough for me. The Cyber Elite status is just, an additional, thing. But definitely helping out the other Live community members is what really, brings it close to my heart, because I definitely like helping people more than, more than the recognition, actually. I'd rather
and you can learn things along the way, right? So, I mean, it's a great environment to be able to really hone in your skills as well.
Absolutely. And that's another thing I realized, is that by, answering these questions, I'm like, hey, wait a minute, I read that somewhere. And then I'd go and look it up in the support area. I'm like, oh, I thought that was right, and it's right, right? So I go and help the person link the article and say, hey, man, I hope this is right.
Right.
Hope I understood
Right.
your question. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I'm sorry if I didn't, and it's great when you can help somebody, and
Right.
that's how I, it gives me a nice, warm feeling to help others, really.
That's excellent. That's great. Well, we do see you in there a lot, and we appreciate all that you do, all of your engagement and just your knowledge. We really do appreciate you helping everybody in there and seeing you there. So thanks again so much for taking time out of your day to chat with us today, and we enjoyed getting to know you better. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
All right.
Thanks again for watching this great video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified of all new videos that we put out on the live community. Thank you very much. Have a great day.